Hi, everybody. Recruiting Animal here on April, what's the date today? The 21st, 2021. There's snow on the ground outside here. That's why I'm dressed so warm. I live in a cold country. The guest today, though, we're talking about it, Louisville, or how do you say it again? Louisville? How do you say it?
Louisville.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville. I would never say it like that. And I live in a French speaking country, okay? I know how to say Louisville. Okay. His name is Aaron Linson, Aaron. Hi, Michael G. Cox. Linson, Linson. What else was I going to say? Yeah, I have mentioned here before that one of my great grandfathers was named Aaron, but he spelled it Aron. It's totally irrelevant, but it just comes to mind for me. Okay, so just let me talk a bit. Okay, so Aaron, the first question I have is you actually seem to have a Twitter account under the name Aaron Linson, but there's nothing in it. What's the story there?
So the story is I deleted it because I was not using it and found that I was using other platforms instead. I also found that, and we'll get into this later, with Twitter's accessibility issues and me being a consultant for blind and vision impaired people, they weren't doing enough, in my opinion, to make it worth
Okay.
the
Well, it's
keep
just
on.
so you don't know. Okay, Aaron is vision impaired. I wasn't going to talk about it, but he's brought it up already. It's curious how someone could work that way. Well, obviously he does, but the point is I'm going to tell you it's still there. there's no postings on it. You've got a few
Huh.
followers, but it's
Okay.
still there.
It
Okay?
might not be. It might not be me though, because I had mine
How
under.
many Aaron Linsons are there?
I have no
At
idea.
least two.
How come he's got a heavy accent, Michael G. Cox, and you're way down there in Texas, and you don't? You talk like almost like me.
Oh, hey, easy there.
I knew that was coming.
Aaron, where are you from?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Louisville.
Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah,
Yeah.
Louisville.
And it's not Louisville, guys. It's
Right.
Louisville.
See, he says it right. Michael says it right.
Okay. Let me get to it. Okay. Here's the thing. You say in the headline for your LinkedIn profile that you
Yes.
are an Eagle Scout. Okay,
Yes,
or
sir.
you were an Eagle Scout. Now, I have a friend, a recruiter in Atlanta, and he told me that that's a big deal with some employers. They like to hire cheerleaders and Eagle Scouts.
Yes.
Is that why you've got it listed so prominently? What does it mean about you?
It means that, it took me, what, 4 or 5 years to get it.
Yeah.
And it's something that I'm very proud of because my troop in Kentucky is Troop 10. So we are the 10th troop that got our license from the Heritage Council. And not only that, we are the first blind and visually impaired troop in the Lincoln Heritage.
Everybody in your group is visually impaired? Wait a
Yes,
second.
sir.
What did you do to your hair, Ernie? You're scaring me.
Ernie, I can see the rest of your face.
Yeah,
Got a haircut.
I just
Got a
gotta tell you,
haircut.
Ernie Marino just joined, and he had
Hello,
flowing
Aaron.
locks. He had
Hello.
flowing locks. I thought that was his style. I guess now he's got vaccinated. He went out to the barber or something like that. He's completely
That's true.
shorn.
That's true. It was
Hey,
14 months ago.
Okay,
right on.
let me ask. Let's get to this.
No.
Well, what is it, Michael G. Cox? You go ahead.
As an Eagle Scout,
Sure.
it actually helps with like military rank as well. When you join the military and you demonstrate that you were an Eagle Scout and you completed that, you automatically get enlisted or promoted to the rank of like E3, and you become a private immediately, first class.
Okay, that's not what I want to know. I want to know if you see Eagle Scout on someone's resume or LinkedIn profile, do you take a step back and say, hey, this guy might be worth looking at? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why? Okay, Ernie, go ahead.
It's a lot
Ernie
of
first.
work, dude.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Well, so what?
it shows that person has a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
And it is pretty well trained, and the scouts do that. But when you get to Eagle Scouts, it's like it's top notch, and it takes a lot of dedication to stick it out. A lot of people quit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I would have never made it even if I tried. I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess at that. Okay.
Cub Scouts would have been hard for you.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Out of all the Eagle Scouts or out of all the scouts that try to get that rank, there's only 3% of them that ever get it.
Oh, really? Oh, you're
Yes, sir.
kidding. Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Okay, let's move to the different kind of certification, sourcing certifications. You've said a few things about this that seem to contradict each other. But maybe that's just paradoxical, and they actually fit together very well. Just think, I don't know if everybody who's listening to the show knows what paradox is. Look it up, okay?
Seriously.
Anyway, yeah, okay. Somebody said, I'm thinking of getting a sourcing certification. I'm quite experienced, but I'd like to get more structured knowledge. My question is, if anybody has received or got crucial improvements or noticed crucial improvements in their skill after passing some of these courses, or is self-education better? Okay, so Aaron, you told her, get certified. I got mine through the Sourcing Institute Foundation. So,
yeah.
Okay, but then Matt Charney said, if you have to teach someone how to source, they're not going to be good at it. And you got offended. So why would you disagree with him?
Well, here's the thing with that. So my degree is in audio production. So I have my Bachelor of Science in audio production. And I honestly found the Sourcing Institute through ironically, through a tweet, and got certified through them. I think that it holds a certification, whether it's the Eagle Scout certification, or let's say a speaking certification, or what have you, put the blank after certification. You get held to a higher standard, and look, oh, this person is certified to source, to speak, to coach, to personal train.
Okay,
gives them
I
a
got your
higher
point.
level.
In the show, you don't have to make a speech, okay? Just let me tell you that. Anybody else want to, I guess any kind of designation, if you don't know the person, it's worthwhile. But I'm going to question in practical terms. First of all, would Ernie and Mike agree with me? Or Nick Livingston is here. I don't know if he wants to comment. You can stay. You can just stay blank. Nick, you don't have to say anything. That's quite all right. I'm getting used to that. Okay. Usually I feel I have to include people in the conversation, but not everybody wants to talk. Okay.
Ernie. I was going to say with sourcing, it's kind of like, if you're certified in sourcing, it's kind of like the equivalent of being certified with SHRM as a human resources person. A person can have a degree in human resources, but they seem to always want you to be certified as a I don't know, SPHRM or whatever they call them.
It's somebody's stamp of approval is all it is. Aaron, you could have gone through the entire process of getting certified and then just dropped and said, not gonna get it. And you still have the training. It's just some people put some weight on it, and it's kind of like, okay, went through the entire process.
If you're looking for a job, hold on, in a corporate, well, actually, if you're looking even in an agency, I guess it's going to make a difference, though, if you've got the certification when they make the initial resume selection, when they might test you, okay, once you're on the short list, but to get on the short list, maybe it's going to make a difference. Is that fair? Yeah. Is that fair? Yeah.
It's always a plus. It's always a plus.
Okay. But here's the thing with him. Then when Matt Charney, the professional nasty guy, said, if you have to teach them, they're no good. Okay, it's a talent. Then he got mad. Aaron got mad. He said, "I'm self-taught. Okay, I'm a self-taught banjo." That's the actual term he used. You just said you took the course through the Institute. How are you self-taught?
Being able to.
If I may jump in real quick, Aaron.
Yeah. Sure.
Aaron could have been self-taught and also did the certification through the Institute.
Yes.
done.
Yeah, it could
He
happen.
could have done both.
Okay.
I actually went through and I got those certifications like probably like decades ago through what was that? They do the sourcing or the recruiting certification and
The heirs?
airs. I did that a few times, and but I can't be measured by that.
Right.
Especially now after 20 years of doing recruiting or more. That's just something that I did a couple times, and it was nice, but it really didn't help me. It didn't do anything for me.
I guess you look at it that way. Are you doing it because you want business? Are you doing it because you want employment? What was your purpose for doing it, Aaron?
It was because I wanted employment, and that was to me the only way that I could get employment.
And how did you find that experience? I mean, were you able to get employment because of
Did it
it?
help?
Yeah. Yes, it did. When I got the certification and completed it, I was hired as a contract sourcer for their child company, Hire Force, and then worked there for about a year. And then I got snatched by my current company, which is Talentric LLC, and I've been working there for about a year.
Okay, let me, I gotta ask this question now. Are you blind? I mean, how can you be a sorcerer if you can't see? Okay, what's your vision capacity?
So
And he
I
told
am,
me, hold on. I said we don't have to. He said he wants to talk about this. He's way open for it.
That's pretty cool.
Anybody can say anything. Okay, so go
Yeah.
ahead.
so I am completely blind now. To give you a little bit about the backstory, I have what's called an eye condition called retinopathy of prematurity. I was born 4 months premature, weighed 1 pound and 8 ounces, could literally fit in the palm of your hand.
Wow.
Had to spend months in an incubator due to that. The left side of my eye got pushed in the back of my head due to doctor neglect and just being on the incubator for a long time. So I wear what's called a prosthesis in the left eye, which basically keeps the left side of the face looking at.
Oh,
There he is.
Sorry
There you
about
you're
are.
that.
back.
So the prosthesis keeps the left side looking as normal as the right.
Let's get to the thing. You can't see. You can see
Correct.
zero. Is that what you're saying? You got zero vision. You used to be
Yes.
fully, but now you can't. Like
I
when
used
you
to
were.
have yes, I used to have some vision able enough to kind of what's called spot, which is go out and there's a tree that I need to turn to the right, and I memorize that.
Okay.
And
How
then
can you?
be
How
able to
can you
do
be
that.
a sorcerer though? What is the?
So
That's a
So
good
I
question.
yeah, so I have a computer, obviously, like many of you, but my computer speaks to me through a software program, which is called a screen reader. And that screen reader basically allows me to manipulate the computer just like you would do anything from email to word processing to even sourcing. And it just speaks to me everything that the
I'm
computer.
amazed. I got to tell you, I'm totally amazed. And not only that, you said you got recruited out of a job. I mean,
Yes.
so somebody must be able to appreciate that you can do your stuff. How do you prove to them once someone sees that? I think you don't hide it on your profile.
No,
Once
I
they
don't.
see that you've got a vision problem, how do they get past that? Because lots of people wouldn't, I imagine.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the issue for a lot of blind and visually impaired people is they haven't gotten past that. I have some issues not with the hiring managers, but with the people that have said that they can't get past that. But it's something that we have to prove ourselves 10 times as harder than any sighted person, because there are issues with hiring managers that they think, oh, this blind or this visually impaired person can't do this job.
Okay, well, how
And
do
we
you
have to show
compare?
that.
How do you hold on? Has anybody tried to measure you to see how you compare to somebody who doesn't have that problem? I mean, I'd
Yes.
imagine. Just let me tell you, I know I don't. I'd imagine you're a lot slower at your work. Okay, is that fair?
Not at all. Not at all. No. I am a lot faster because I don't have to rely on the vision to know what's going on. I can use my screen reader and also Braille, and my speech on my screen reader, which is called JAWS, Job Access with Speech. You can look that up. I have it ramped up to where at a fast rate to where I can understand it. It's
Okay, let me ask, okay, sorry, anybody else can jump in, but since you've got this special angle and you
Mhm.
know that you can actually perform, like for me, even with the best intentions, if I see someone has a disability, there's no way I can gauge what it's like for them, right? But
Mhm.
you know what it's like from the inside.
Yes, sir.
Can you make that a niche for your recruiting, that you can actually uh, be much more open-minded than the average person and recruit people who've got a disability and make a good presentation on their behalf to a company?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
have you done it?
I am not on the recruiting aspect of it at the moment, but I have sourced a few people that have had disabilities and they have gotten placed.
Okay.
Aaron, when you source,
Yes.
what extent do you take it to? I mean, do you just find folks and then pass them off to somebody else? What do you do?
So I have done that, and that's mainly my role as a sorcerer with Tenentric at the moment. But
Uh-huh.
I have also done phone screenings and initial interviews.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sorry, Ernie, am I the only one? Like, I didn't want to talk about this. I thought it was way too sensitive an issue, but I'm just flabbergasted. I'm amazed that he could do all this.
Animal, I think it's very, it's a good thing to talk about because it's something that someone out there in internet world might be looking to say, well, I can't do this. And I think Aaron like shoves everything aside. So if somebody thinks, I can't do this, recruiting so hard, Aaron's like telling him, you know what? I did it. You can do it. Anybody can do it. It's the challenge is out there. Can you accomplish it? And I applaud him for that. That's right on, man. You hit it.
Anybody else got questions about,
Yeah, I got a quick question. So Aaron, are you?
Hey, Rich, you're not allowed to ask a question until we can see you.
Oh, forget it then.
No, you can go ahead. You don't have to show us your lovely face.
Mike
okay?
likes to see my pretty face. It's all right.
There he is.
So Aaron, when you're going your screening, does your program read the whole resume to you, or I mean,
Yes. So I can manipulate it just like you can, but I can highlight, copy, cut, paste, do all the formatting stuff. It just allows me to understand it through a synthesized speech engine.
No, I think it's actually in some ways it's probably better because I'm guessing most of us don't actually read the whole resume. I know I don't.
Right. And I have to. I do a once over just to see what it is, and a second time over just to get some of the keywords out, and then go from there.
I'd go nuts if I had that machine voice talking to me all day. Okay.
Well, and that's the thing. Sometimes I get fatigued by it, and that's where my Braille display comes in, and I just turn the speech off and do everything by feel through Braille.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but here's the thing: when somebody asked on the Facebook group, is there any secret knowledge? I might have asked it myself that recruiters have that other people don't have, and you said Boolean. Okay, so I'm assuming that you think you're pretty good at it. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, so that's got all kinds of weird syntax. You have to, when I do it, I look at what I've produced. So what does the machine just read it back to you? Is that?
Yes, it reads it back to me. But again, the thing is, I can also do it in Braille too. So Braille is essentially like you looking at it, but I feel it with my fingers. And if there's something that I've missed, that speech is going off that I don't catch, then I always will double check with Braille and my fingers to make sure that it's correct.
Wow, I just find this blows me away.
And
Anybody else?
And I'll tell you something else, Animal. On my iPhone, about 99.9% of the time, that Braille display connects through Bluetooth through my iPhone, and I usually control my iPhone, do all my typing and stuff through the Braille display. I never touch my phone.
Anybody else?
You probably text better than Rich, by the way.
Aaron,
I
have a question. Aaron,
Yes.
How did you get into being a sorcerer? What made you want to become a sorcerer? I mean,
so I was working, I'm not going to say a dead end job, but I was working at a restaurant where I was basically, they called it a maintenance position. Basically, it was a dishwashing position. And I was like, I can do better than this. I have my bachelor's degree, and I need to find something that will just make it a lot better. And I found the Sourcing Institute on Twitter. The tweet was, "Are you interested in a position in sourcing and recruiting? Here's the email, send us your resume and let's talk." And I thought, well, there's no harm to it. If this is a scam or anything, then, I'll just move on. And if it's not, then we'll see what it is. And I have been happily sourcing and in the talent acquisition field for about 2 years now.
Who asked that question? That was an interesting answer.
I asked that question.
Well, good. So the Sourcing Institute, he didn't tell us at the start. Well, that was his entree. Okay.
Right.
Also, he found it on Twitter, which he disparaged as well. Okay. But there, I'm going to complain about some of your answers, but I like that. That's amazing. I have to tell you, I just, it might show that how narrow-minded I am, but I'm just amazed.
Yes, you are.
I'm amazed and impressed. Okay. But getting down to brass tacks now, when it comes to someone asked about contact information finders. You got two favorites, Swordfish and Signal Higher. Is that fair?
That is fair.
You gotta kill somebody here, dude.
Lisa, you wanna? You'll be the first person I have to mute. Okay.
Yes.
I'll have what she's having.
Okay. Yeah.
Put the video on. Come on. Where's the video?
Okay.
Make a
This is
placement or
really
what?
somebody awful. I gotta.
Yeah, you got. You got basically somebody hopped on.
Somebody muted her. I didn't, but thankfully. Yeah. I don't know how to get rid of her. Complete. Oh, okay.
You can boot somebody.
Let's see. Put in waiting room.
No.
Uh,
You could do that too.
She's muted, so.
Now,
Okay.
the thing is, she could
Good for her.
turn on a wonderful webcam at the moment. Be careful.
Animal, your
I
show's
was
got much
wondering
better, I
when
gotta
this
tell
was
you.
going to happen.
I don't know. How am I going to get rid of her?
Why?
We want to talk. I'm sorry.
Okay, go to
Must act like got a
participants.
month.
Animal, go to participants at the bottom. Select her, and then you can boot. I can't do it.
Okay. Participants. Okay. How do I get? Fine. Okay. How do I get rid of her? Sorry, everybody. I don't know. Okay. She stopped for a while.
Well,
in
you're
fact,
taking your show to a new level. I want you to know that. But
I don't think so.
I think it's getting better, Michael.
Okay. Yeah.
hey, look, from Lisa to everyone, sorry.
Yeah. I'd like to give you a little more than sorry, dear. You're wrecking my show.
My
Michael,
bad.
did you
And
ever
it didn't
figure out
take
how
much.
to edit?
I'll bet it's some recruiter. It's not. Yeah. It's somebody.
What was that,
know.
Kendra?
Oy vey, I
I
gotta
was
get better.
wondering if Michael ever learned how to edit. He said he was trying to learn.
You
how
know
to
what?
edit.
I gotta tell you, somebody should just do me a favor and put me on a video share so I could see how they edit. Because I spent time trying to figure out how to use various editing software, and I can't. Okay, I can't. I'm stupid. Okay, I never tried to deny it. I can't figure out how to edit.
What are you using?
I've used all kinds already. I can't figure it out. Let's get back to the guests, okay? Swordfish and Signal Higher. They're your
She's not gonna
favorite.
lease, don't we think?
Are they your favorite contact information finders? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they're the only two that are usable for me. Let's just say that.
Okay. Well, that's another story altogether. You didn't say that. Okay. Why? Why are they the only ones usable?
Because they're the only ones that work with JAWS at the moment.
Okay.
I've reached out to some of the other companies, and either I've gotten no response or I've gotten a response. One of them, I'm not going to name the name.
Yeah.
But one of them basically said to F off, that they were not going to make it accessible.
Okay.
And so I don't promote that if it doesn't work, because my thing is, how can you claim to be accessible and inclusive, whether it's a company, whether it's a contact program or contract program or whatever, and you're not doing enough.
You know, maybe
to
they can't
make
afford it.
yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I want to move on. Let's get to the goodies. Okay, somebody said on a resume under every company name, should the candidate put a short sentence of what industry it is or a summary of the company? And you agree with her, and I do as well. And some other people I know, I won't mention their names, I'm going to call them morons. They said, no, 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 you don't need that. Yeah, you do need it.
Yes, you do.
You don't need to have a line about your company, what your company does. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. You don't have to
Yeah.
have
No,
one.
that's ridiculous. Yeah, you should have it. Absolutely.
Everybody,
Yes, you should.
Aaron's with me.
I
Big
agree.
Miller is with me. Anybody else?
Yes,
agree.
you should have it. I mean, you don't have to, but it
You
sure
don't-
makes things go a lot faster.
You don't have to,
Right.
but then if your hiring manager doesn't know that you, especially if you're startups, they don't know company X. The guy's wondering what the hell you do.
He
Right,
said,
and
well,
you're
with
not gonna
Google, he said, with Google, they can look it up. They don't have.
He's not
I
going
don't-
to
Make the
he's
hiring
not going
manager
to
work
spend the
for
time to do that.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's not gonna, yeah, he's not
Exactly,
going to spend
Aaron.
the time to do it.
If you're going to force me to go look up what that company was or
Yeah.
did,
I'm not going to go do it.
Exactly.
Me neither. Me neither. Okay.
It's like when the candidate's like, "Oh, it's on my resume."
Right.
Just read my resume. Sure.
yeah, but then and then they complain that I'm more than a resume.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, here's another one. Somebody said, will I lose customers if I get tough? I'm an independent recruiter, but I'm always chasing customers for their money. Almost every one of them is late. The agreement says that the candidate's guarantee will be void if they pay me late, but they still
Mhm.
do it. Okay, I even notify them a week before the due date. And you told her she's better off getting tough, didn't you? What's your story there, Aaron? We haven't talked about this before, and I find it an interesting topic.
Sure. And it is coming from an audio production background. You
Okay,
have
just so people know, you've got an accent audio production.
yes.
Like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what's that, making records or
Yeah, so it's mixing, mastering, CD
Okay.
production, basically the stuff that you don't know how to do,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah. I know how to sound edit.
like
I can
blocking out
sound edit.
Linson.
Just so people don't get, I used to edit my stuff on the audio all the time. It's easy to figure out.
Sure.
I used to
Right.
use Windows Movie Maker, easy to
Uh-huh.
figure out. But since they got rid of that,
They got
Aaron,
rid of it
lost.
for you,
I'm
Aaron.
Aaron,
lost.
all of that stuff falls under the category of witchcraft for a recruiting animal.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
true. Let's
it
let
figures.
Aaron finish his story. I don't know what that preamble, the relevance there is.
Yeah.
Why did
so
you tell her, don't worry about losing these jerks who won't pay
Right.
you on time?
so I had to basically get tough with people. Basically, you have these dates, get this done, or this project is null and void. I'm going to send you with what we have. You're going to pay me and leave. And I think that's the same way you have to do if you're in a contract position where they're sourcing and recruiting. You have to be hard on people because you don't want to get skimmed in the long run.
What is hard
not
on them?
make
What
as
does
much
that
money.
mean then? Be hard on them. What does that
So like
mean?
if they're
Yeah,
not
pizza.
paying, if they're not paying when they need to, and they're not doing what the contract is telling them to do, then they need to let go of that company or that person
Well,
because
for
they
their
don't
next
value.
payment. Well, hold on. They've got your money, okay? You can't aggravate them. They'll just tell you to piss off, okay? Well, let's ask Mr. Fire Your Client, okay?
Yeah.
I imagine he's got something to say about that.
You got a lot of clients to fire, though.
We got a lot of clients to fire.
What's your story, Richie Rich? When
Hey, listen,
somebody doesn't pay on time.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if it's a day late. It's another thing if they're a month late. But you generally know what the story is. I mean, I just had a client that I knew they were going to try to screw me, and you set the paper trail up, weeks ahead of time, and the day came, there was due. We basically just laid it down and said, listen, if you're not going to, if you're going to pay us or you're not going to pay us, we got the email trackers, we got everything else, and then it was. I just tell them right off the gate, if we're not going to get, I don't have time to chase you. So I'm giving it to my attorney. It's going to go for 93A, which every state has.
So, okay, that's your answer. Right away, you hit them with the lawyer.
But it depends. No, it depends. There's certain companies you just know because they're ignoring your emails or whatever else. They're just not, they're not playing fair.
Okay, so hold on a second. Wait a second. So he's saying that there's two kinds of people who pay you late. one of them, their intention is not to pay you at all.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what you're saying, Rich.
Yep.
Okay,
Feel
what
that
about,
way.
how do you know if it's the other one?
I mean, they actually talk to you. I mean, like I have a company now. They're a couple of days late paying me. I'm not calling the cops on them. I'm not calling the attorney. They're actually interacting. They're telling me, hey, we're checking in on it. We forgot this happened, that happened. It does happen. It's
And
not
you know,
going to. It doesn't mean I'm going to fire them.
Ernie wants to say something.
sometimes there's a CFO that sets his rules as to when he or she is going to issue out checks. So one of the steps you should do is always just pick up the phone and talk to accounts payable.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you if the
Mhm.
check's in there or not, if the invoice is in there. If it's not in
Yeah.
there and the person your contact is telling you, hey, I already submitted it, then you know it's BS.
I mean,
Right.
you know, sometimes the CFOs are just like, hey, we're not paying you. Or I had one company said, well, I had one company years ago, the guy's like, well, I gave myself a discount. So he sent me a check for half of it. I'm like,
I gave myself a discount.
literally. Yeah, literally. That's what he said.
Wow.
And I'm like,
yo.
I mean, I literally took a piece of paper, ripped it up on the phone. And I'm like, I ripped your check up as well. So now you haven't paid me at all. Yeah, so I'm like, listen, I'm still going to sue you now for 93A, triple damages, legal fees. So
I'm giving myself a raise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, you're in business. You're not their buddy. I mean, you want to be good partners, but if they're
Okay,
not being a
okay.
good
So
partner,
Rich's solution is get heavy real fast. Ernie said, "Oh yeah, I phoned them up, but he didn't say how he resolves it." That's like a non-answer, Ernie. How does it resolve?
I've never had a problem with it. I mean, I've always gotten paid. So I don't know where
Well,
I'd go.
obviously
After
other
20
people-
years,
Ernie's the special one of the group.
Okay, there you go. Michael G. Cox, what's your input there?
You got to develop a relationship with the people that are in accounts payables. That is, I've learned that really helps quite a bit.
What does that mean? Again, these vague terms. Develop a relationship. So on
Pick up
day
the
one,
okay. So
on day
hey,
one,
hey,
when you start the search,
hey, oh, hang on.
Oh,
She's almost.
yeah,
Hang
she's
on.
ripped it up.
Lisa, please.
Almost
spare
there.
me. Lisa,
She's almost done. She's almost done. Let her
There.
finish.
Hold up. All right.
like I can't even see her anymore.
no, she only does that when Michael talks.
There she is. Okay, mute. There she is. Okay, I think
So
I got it.
I will ask for, okay, so who's in accounting? Who's going to handle this invoice? Who do I send it to? Contact them on the phone. I had a client that was based in Europe. I would do the same thing with them and call them up, have a conversation. When is it going to get paid? What are we expecting? And just having that conversation really helps. And the ones that pay late are the ones that I don't speak with. For some reason, they either don't give me the information or I'm lazy and I don't call. And guess what? That's the stuff that slips because they don't know me. I haven't had a conversation and say, hey man, you need to send this. What do we need to do?
But Michael, if you just send an email a couple weeks before your invoice is due and you track your emails, which you should, and you can see they opened it up several times and they don't get back to you,
Yep.
there's something going on. So then you send another one saying, hey, listen, just want to make sure we're on track. Invoice is due in a week. Hey, if there's any issue, let me know. And then if they don't get back to you, and then day of or day before, it's like, listen, I haven't heard back from you. If you saw you open my emails 54 times. I assume, do we have a problem? You know, if we do, let me know. Otherwise, you know, I expect payment tomorrow. And then you send that to the CEO, the CFO, AP, whoever.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
all of your contacts.
do you think there's a bias against headhunters? Start with Aaron, that they don't take us seriously or less seriously than they do other. They think these guys, they want too much.
I think so. Because sometimes a recruiter, and I've seen this, thinks that they can do it all, and that, you know, that they're the stopgap for the company that they're going for and recruiting for. And, you know, sometimes if it's a small company, you know, sure, you can usually do that. But if you're a big company and you're trying to fill a bunch of orders and you got, you know, say 200 recs on the table, having a headhunter would be easier, and you're paying out less in the long run than you are doing it yourself.
Okay, but you know what? Guy wouldn't answer the call, right? I was calling him. He wasn't paid late. I found his home number and I called and left a message for him at home. He went nuts, but he paid me.
Exactly. Tough luck for him, man. Hey.
He paid me. Okay. Anybody else want to talk any more about that? I didn't say hi to Kendra. I can't see her anymore. Oh, I took away I said people, if they don't show themselves, we don't have to. I didn't realize. I learned something. Lisa, who's having orgasms, taught me something about, about how to use this
That's
thing.
why you keep your camera on.
I haven't figured out how to get rid of her chat yet. She's sending ugly messages or whatever. Anyway, okay.
But
Okay,
wait, Animal, to your point though, do we get recruiters get taken advantage of? I think it's all small businesses, but if recruiters let themselves get taken advantage of, they get screwed. A lot of the companies, they know you're
okay. Rich, let me. I didn't want to say this, but you're a big biller. You've got millions of dollars in the bank. You could do whatever you want. You could tell people. You could tell you've got like fuck you money. Okay, that's what it's called.
Lisa, I mean, geez.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Lisa.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's a technical term, everybody. Just like you can call someone an asshole, don't be an asshole at work. Okay, Bob Sutton wrote a book. Okay, so I'm sure there's a book called "Fuck You Money," something like that. Okay? It means
if there's not, Mike needs to write it.
Okay, yeah, we should. But the point is, what if you need, especially if the times are tough, you need the money. That person has your money.
They're not paying you.
You can. Well, you've got to.
You don't have your money.
You have the money is not in your hands.
Right.
This guy's not paying you. What are you gonna do? Just like, oh, I'm sorry. Like when
Beg.
so listen, the last situation I had, like it doesn't happen all the time, but this last one, the guy's like, you're very aggressive, and I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Send you a bouquet of flowers for screwing me? I'm like, you told me you weren't paying me. I'm like, I give it to my lawyer. I don't have time to deal with the bullshit. So listen, you either want to pay me now or you want to pick a donation to my kid's college fund.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Okay. Did I say hello to Kendra? Yeah, I think I did.
Yes, you did.
You did.
Okay.
I'm too enthralled by Lisa's private messages.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I saw that. That's
a
crazy.
part 2 of the show, apparently.
Okay.
The after show is back.
Yeah.
Yeah. The after
Behind
show.
the scenes.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody was talking about salary, asking candidates about their salaries, and that's like a taboo subject now. I don't know how many states in the United States say you're not allowed to ask a candidate how much she's earning in her current job or her last job. But Aaron takes a tough attitude towards the candidate on that. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you want to tell us about it? Don't just say yes. On the Recruiting Animal Show, yes is not an answer.
So you need to know that so that you can know how to present the next position to them. You can't just, hiring manager, I don't know what they made, so we're just going to have to go off of a guesstimation.
The answer to that is you only have to know what they want, not what they made. Okay, come on.
Oh, well.
Salary expectations. That's it. That's the only thing you ask. Some states you can get away with it.
What's your reply? I want to see how he replies. I got to tell you, I'm going to read his note. He said, if you don't want to play the game, then you're always welcome to leave. I mean, this guy's tough, okay? He's keyboard tough. He says somebody else who's looking for the job and really needs it is going to come along, okay? And so you're saying, this is a deal breaker for you. They either tell me what they're earning or so long. Am I right about that, Aaron? Now you can say yes or no.
In some aspects, yes.
Depends.
Okay.
It really depends. It really depends. I mean, just like, everybody here knows recruiting and sourcing is a numbers game.
I agree. It is. Okay.
Depends on the role too.
Right.
Yeah. Like salespeople, if you're a sales guy and you're embarrassed by what you're earning, well, you probably
you know what? I haven't billed anybody, as I said, but I still want to. I think I'm going to be able to bill Nick Livingston, who was here for a few minutes for a while. So let me do an ad for him. Honeit, HONEIT.com. Honeit, HONEIT.com. It's the online interview technology. Anybody else knows the ad? They want to do it? They can chime in. You and the candidate both sign into the website and you do the interview. It records it. It creates a searchable transcript. It does audio, video if you want. You press a button before you answer or ask an important question. Then it records it separately, and you press that other button when it's over that little section, and you got a clip of the key stuff that you could send to the hiring manager. What can be better than that? Okay, Honeit, HONEIT.com, and there's a whole bunch of other things you can do with it as well. If Nick sticks around a while, I'll let him do a plug, but yeah, I haven't billed him for a long time, so that's all he gets today. Okay. Oh, you guys all changed your positions on my screen. Okay. I know you do that. So just so I'll look stupid when I put up the recording, I'm talking to so-and-so over here, and on the recording, he's over there. Like, yeah, I don't know what to do about that. Okay. Next question. Okay. I like this one. How to stall an offer. When you're interviewing for several different recruiting roles. So the guy was talking about himself. He says, at several different companies, what's the best way to delay giving them an answer to a job offer? So Aaron, you're at company A, you're interviewing company A, B, and C. Company A makes you an offer, but you're kind of interested to see what the other two are coming with as well. What do you say to company A when they make you that offer?
Oh, I've got a couple of other offers on the table.
You don't have them yet. No, you're waiting for them. You don't have those offers yet.
Well, I've got a couple other things, other people that are interested. I will get back with you. And if I don't hear from these other companies or from these other people, then I will let you know.
No time frame? You leave it open. I'll get back to you. Yeah, just hang on as long as I
get back to you in a couple in 2 or 3 days.
Okay. And what would you say to the other companies? Would you say, look, I already got an offer with this company. I want to know what your Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, once you make companies bid for you like that, don't the hiring managers or the recruiters get offended and think, he's not really interested in us. What I'm going to let this guy go. Anybody else got any input on that? Like, if your candidate says, I got a few other offers. I know there's some people at these big tech firms, they're always dealing with people who've got multiples.
I mean, clearly it's not the guy's top offer. He's not your top choice.
No, he doesn't even have an offer yet from the other companies. He doesn't know what.
I mean, it's even worse that he's not your top choice. I mean, that you're not his top choice or hers. So you better work on it.
So would you sour on the candidate for that?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I want to know, like, what's prohibiting you from taking that job today? He says, well, I'm waiting for these other offers. I'm like, well, what if they don't come? Are you willing to lose this? Usually they are.
Well, would you give Aaron the chance to wait? Would you say, yeah, okay, I'll wait 2 days?
I'll tell them, yeah, they're going to wait, but they're probably going to talk to candidate number 2, move him forward.
Really?
They got
really
that 2 days gives you 2 days to go out and find somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think you can find someone in 2 days unless he's already in line.
You can.
Come on.
You want to bet?
You could find a good candidate in 2 days?
Darn straight.
Okay.
Go, Mikey.
Yeah. Anybody else want to talk? Has anybody else had it where the person says, look, I'm interviewing with multiple companies. I'm not sure which is the best offer yet. Ernie's
you gotta look at it like, if your candidate's excited about your position, then you're with it. But the reality of it is, once they start saying things like that, then just throw up the flag and just say, you know what? Okay, that's cool. Do what you got to do, bro. I'll do what I got to do. And then you just, no drama. You just part ways because you know it's not going to happen.
So that's bad.
You probably have about a 90%
chance. It's just like them finishing it halfway through an assessment and saying, oh, something went wrong, but here's my resume. I want you to push me through.
And the other thing is, you should be glad that the person's telling you this, because so many times you're all the way at the end, the finish line, and you're like all excited, and then all of a sudden he says, "Oh yeah, I took another position."
Yeah,
it happens.
I had that. I had a phone screen. I went through the entire interview, and the guy said, "Well, I've actually accepted another offer today." And I said, "I said, then why did you waste my time? Why didn't you just tell me this up front when I called you? And I could have just put you off the list as a QA."
Yeah, and what did he say?
I don't know.
He's like, well, I don't know. I always just wanted to see what
I
you
don't
had
know.
to
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he was just embarrassed.
Sorry,
Maybe.
my bad.
Yeah.
offer. Right.
Michael G. Cox is looking very serious, but he hasn't come in on this.
No.
If somebody
Michael's done that to people.
if somebody says to you, if you're excited about the candidate, you extend an offer, she says, you know what, I got a few things on the go and I want to compare them. What does that, everybody else says it turns them off the candidate. What about you?
No, it doesn't turn me off the candidate, but it tells me I got to go find somebody else.
Oh yeah, you did comment already. Yeah, and you're the 2 days guy. Yeah, I'm not. Okay.
And someone always said that you end every conversation with, is there anything that's changed since we last talked?
And hope that they actually tell you.
Yeah. But that's about as best as you can do.
Jerry said that. I know Jerry. If I want to guarantee, if I want to guarantee that Jerry says the opposite of something he says 100 times, then sorry, Michael G. Cox is making me laugh. Then I just have to say Jerry says, and he'll deny it. But he did say that. He says every time you talk to somebody, ask has anything changed.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a woman, a recruiter. She says, I've been a recruiter for 18 years. I've done very well for myself, and I have a very large network. Has anyone with a similar background ever considered or even successfully built a personalized matchmaking service? I have a few friends who suggested I do this, and honestly, I've thought about this for years. In a way, I feel
like a
that
personal matchmaking thing.
Yeah, she says, I think it could be a perfect extension to what my business offers currently, which is executive level search.
No,
And dating.
that is
Dating,
crazy.
There was a long discussion about it, and there's some people feel that they've got an intuitive, they clearly said, an intuitive feel for people who would be good matches.
No, that's silly.
I mean,
Okay, whatever your niche
There's no way.
is
you
in
can't do both
recruiting,
businesses.
this is a big swing away from that.
I think you could do it, but it'd be pretty comical to have both businesses running together. Hey, I got you a date and an interview. I mean,
Hey,
when you're like,
if you want to do this,
after the interview, you're like, how'd you do? And she's like, I got the second. And I was like, Lisa, who knows? I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say you got to call back Lisa.
No, I got you a date with the hiring manager.
Yeah, exactly.
And you didn't get the
Your new
job,
boss is your new spouse.
Exactly.
Yeah. Aaron, you're the guest. You have an opinion about that. You think you would be a good matchmaker?
No, there is no way.
Aaron
Okay.
is changing his LinkedIn profile at this very moment.
No, I'll bet there's a lot of recruiters who agree with her. Okay. And
Well, there are a lot of recruiters that aren't, terribly smart, apparently.
There's a lot of recruiters that are
But
dumb.
the truth of it is that question is like, if you listen to how I built this, that's exactly what people have done.
Yeah.
They've taken an idea, it's so bizarre, and then they've created this massive, great company, and they turn around and sell it, and they're billionaires.
Okay, it's late in the show. Okay, so I can take a risk. Okay, do you think women would be more inclined to think about starting that kind of sideline to their business than men? We'll go around. Aaron, because it's all guys here. Oh, maybe Kendra's still listening. Aaron, is that for women, or do you think men would be just as good at it?
I think if you're the right type of person, if you're a guy and you want to get into that, then that's fine.
You're non-committal. Okay, you're not. I'm looking for yes, no.
It wouldn't be for me, but hey, to each their own.
Okay, this is a lightning round. Okay, anybody else want to comment? Risk saying whether they think this is gender oriented.
No, I think Michael G. Cox is crazy wrong. I think if you're a good recruiter, you can be a good if you recruit on and know your client's personality, your candidate's personality, you know who's going to match, who's not going to match.
Okay, it
happened.
happened.
I dated a client of mine for 3 years, actually.
Oh, dang!
Yeah.
While you were married?
I wish.
Ended last year.
Oh God.
Yeah,
COVID
she went.
stopped
That's when she started withholding the checks as well.
Right.
Now,
I think you mispronounced sex.
okay. there was a guy who responded to her, and he said his name's Eric something or other. He said he used to be a dating coach, and he thinks that's a better business than matchmaking. But she said, I'd like to have a chat with you. But anyway, I thought that was
million dollar matchmaker or whatever that show is on
Pitch.
that it's this crazy lady runs around setting up millionaires.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Okay. How much time do we have? Oh, 8 minutes. Okay. This guy got mad. He said the recruiter, he said, called me to work at Google. That's not a lousy company. He called me to work at Google, but that's 40 miles from my home. Where does he get the nerve? Is that crazy?
That the guy got offended?
Yeah, oh yeah, he got offended. The potential candidate.
That's why you don't call people on the West Coast.
Right.
Is 40
Especially
miles
in California.
Is 40 miles too far?
Depends on where you live. Depends on where you live.
Right.
If it's LA, yeah.
Yeah, if it's Texas, no.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing.
What about Louisville?
Louisville? No, that's not at all.
40 miles is okay, right? It's an hour's drive. It's an hour's drive, though, isn't it?
Yeah, we'd even say 60 miles is good. Yeah.
Wow, 60 miles. Okay, because some people
30-minute drive.
Some people are saying they're never going back to commuting. Okay, they commuted an hour each way and wreck their family. This is way better working at home. They're better parents. They don't have to drink to calm down. I'm not kidding. Okay.
If a 1 hour commute wrecked your family, I can assure you it wasn't just the commute.
Each way, 1 hour.
But what you're saying is true. The overwhelming majority of candidates that I speak to are completely turned off by the prospect of returning to an office 5 days a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen, especially in sales.
I just turned down a search in Chicago. They wanted to lower pay. Pay wasn't great, and they wanted you back in an office.
Dude, I have had the same thing in Chicago.
I think I sent it to you.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
No, I had a client in Chicago that wants everybody to be back in an office, but it also depends on who you speak to. I'm talking to the sales manager, like, no, they have to be here 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I talked to the VP of sales. He's like, dude, I've never been in the office. That's ridiculous. So,
well, how do you reconcile? Well, how do you reconcile that when you've got two people in the company and they're disagreeing with each other?
I tell them, hey, dude, I just spoke to the VP of sales. He said it's going to be 2 to 3 days max per week. But even that, many individuals are not too keen.
Yeah, hold on. If I had a client and there's two people inside the company are disagreeing with each other, I wouldn't smooth it over lightly, because your candidate might get hired and find out it's quite different than what they said at the beginning.
It all depends on who you're reporting to.
Right.
They're going to be reporting to the manager, the sales manager, but I basically told the sales manager, hey, I spoke to the
That's
VP
what
of
I was
sales.
afraid of. You told the sales manager your boss disagrees with you. Do you think he cares? No.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's wrong.
Yeah.
He cares, but it doesn't matter it doesn't depend on whether or not he's
Too bad if he's
he may not change.
Boss said this, you said this, you are wrong.
Yeah, but if the hiring manager says, you know what, I want you here, I don't care what he says, I need you here, you're going to
Then we're going to have to straighten it out with the VP of sales. So you guys need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
I didn't have that issue.
Who wants to place somebody in the company when they have to fight a battle once they're there? Are you with me,
Who
Aaron?
actually thinks that all people within an org chart think alike?
No.
Okay. No.
Aaron, there's no way.
Aaron, are you with me?
But you shouldn't have to be the facilitator to mend out the argument. Hey, look, the VP said this, and you're just not to degrade the sales manager, but you're just the manager.
You're just the manager.
Yeah, he's the VP.
The VP, the VP is irrelevant here. I'm with Ernie, the guy on the ground who's doing the managing. It's his team.
It goes back to the
team.
I would agree.
Back to the concept. It could be a great company, but if you got a lousy manager that's supervising you, it's a lousy company.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I probably would tell the client, hey, look, this is what's going on. You may want to look for something different, and I can help you with that. Let me keep your resume and profile, and I will let you know.
Okay, I see big trouble, and I don't think it's necessarily a crazy hiring manager. That's what he wants. If you're the manager, you have the right to set the rules for your team. Now,
Okay, so
like,
who's your manager? The hiring manager or the guy that's
the
actually
hiring manager,
signing
not
the
his
paper?
boss, not his boss. You report
The boss is the one that's going to actually approve the check to come out to me. That's my client.
All that matters is, did you get paid and did the guarantee pass?
That's what they call a scumbag recruiter, Ernie. Okay, they just care about the
Hang in there another
moolah,
month, bro.
okay?
Hang in there another month.
Is that how? Is
You
that
can do it.
how?
You can do
How? Is that how? That's weird. You got animal. You just cared
Well,
about.
now
money.
you come on.
Oh, she's done with her voiceover work from earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. Lisa shows herself. Sorry, Aaron, finish off. What were you saying? Then we'll
I
ask
said, is
you
that
that
how
again.
you got where you were? You just cared about the money.
What?
You were talking about how the scumbag recruiters are the ones that care about the money, that only care about the money. Is that how you got where you were? You just cared about the money.
Well, let's ask Rich that question.
That is a motivator.
The money is a motivator, but you listen, your candidates pay you tomorrow, your clients pay you today. So.
Okay, I think quality of hire is a huge issue. Most recruiters dismiss it. They say, I'm not. In fact, we got the king of those dismissers right here. Yeah, he said, I don't make the hire.
No.
I don't manage them. I have no control. I just present the slate. Don't come to me. Okay, you looking at me? You looking at me? No.
Kendra, what do you think?
So how is it the hiring manager's? How is it the recruiter's problem? The hiring manager and his team did all of the interviewing and made
Kendra gets to say something. Is Rich right or wrong? I'm saying he's wrong.
I'm internal and I tell them what I think. And if they don't take my advice, big, I told you so.
That's it.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
Oh, but internal,
they hire him anyway.
internal, Kendra can also say, "I told you so." And oh, by the way, I just told your boss's boss.
Exactly.
I told
you guys
so.
like infighting. That doesn't
Right.
bother you at
So
all.
animal, I mean, so
No,
if
it's
you get-
it's not infighting. It's getting their shit straight.
exactly. So animal, if you get divorced, is it the priest's fault? Is the guy who set you guys up? No. He just brought you together. I'm just making an introduction.
Hey, does anybody have a mic they could drop? Maybe here you go.
Yeah.
Everybody goes with their earpiece.
Aaron, I didn't ask you this yet. Last issue. Is there anything burning that we haven't? I thought there's a lot of interesting new issues that we discussed today. But is there anything that we haven't discussed that you want to put out there? Okay.
Sure. So I think disability and inclusion, I have a real big issue with the words diversity, inclusive, and equality, because I think they are overused a lot. But I also think that you're not getting to other populations that are willing to work, but the sourcers or even the recruiters, for that matter, aren't allowing them to be sourced for and being looked at. And I think that's really a real big shame.
Okay. Well, I know
diversity,
that-
inclusion, and equity are the AI of 2021.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
we had a guy on years ago. His I can't remember his name. His company was, I think, called Big Tent Recruiting, and he was specializing in disabled people who were
Mhm.
disabled. I see you as maybe being able to make. I have a problem right now. Being able to make as much money as Rich by making that your niche. I could be
Right.
wrong, but you seem to have way more insight into it and see
Yes.
things that I certainly can't. Okay.
Here's one thing. I told a sales manager, she's like, well, why would I make something accessible to blind vision impaired people? I said, you're losing out on $85 million a year by not doing it.
Okay, well, I won't. I should have asked you before how that 85 million. If you come on again, that's what we'll do. Let's
Start
make
there.
the go around. No, let's make the go around. Food industry recruiter, raise your hand.
Hey,
Ernie
did you get that?
Moreno!
Nice.
The salesrecruiter.com. Michael G. Cox. What is it? Cornerstone.com?
Cornerstonesearch.com.
You got a better one than that. You said you got a lot of them.
I got a bunch of them. That's the main
What's a
one.
descriptive
Your
one?
software recruiter
The
is a
$1
good one
million
too.
biller. That's his name.
Tech sales recruiter.
Don't give that one.
Cornerstone.ca.
I could be
Aaron,
like-
do you have a website?
The guy
I do
who
not.
did- the guy who did
You
it.
don't? Come on, you should build your brand. You've got something special, okay? I'm going to say that. You got to have your own website. Okay, maybe I'm wrong, okay? Aaron Linson, okay? I don't, I just think you're doing something fantastic. I mean, really, it
Thank you.
blows my mind, okay? I'm amazed, and I'm really glad. I'm glad everybody talked about it. I learned that somebody can do something really amazing, okay? I would. Anyway, I won't go on about it before.
Pioneer.
Put in my mouth. Anything
Pioneer.
else? Let's wave goodbye to the people on the show. Or anybody? Okay. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.